Now, to tell us what is on the international desk this week for SABC News, I speak to international editor Lance Claasen. Lance, thank you so much for joining me here this afternoon. Really appreciate it. Busy week for you. Of course, information about the flotilla and the abductions of those on the flotilla, few and far between, but you're keeping your eye on that.
Yes, good news, 137 of them have been released, flown to Istanbul in Turkey, and the sad news is none of the South Africans were reportedly amongst the 137 that were deported from Israel. The activists that have been deported have complained about the treatment that they've received. They've said that they were treated very badly by the Israeli government. They were given like free infested blankets, it's other things what they were saying. They weren't allowed access to lawyers, water, or the toilet, and they were, Greta Thunberg is believed to have been humiliated by dressing up in the Israeli flag. That's what the activists are alleging. But when you go to the Israeli government, they say nothing of the sort has happened. You go to their social media pages. There are two contrasting stories that come from the Israeli government. When you go to the Minister of Intelligence, Ben-Gvir, he says they are saboteurs and terrorists and they're going to be treated as such. When you go to the foreign ministry, they said no, they were treated with humanity, and they even showed a picture of a smiling Greta on Friday. So there seems to be contradictory messages coming out of there.
Now, the flotilla were intercepted in international waters by international law. That's not legal for a nation state to intercept vessels in international water, particularly waters, or at least along the shores of which their navies don't have control over. What do we know about the countries that participated in protecting the flotilla, so to speak, and escorting them, Italy being one of them?
Yes, they went and they escorted them, but when you've got 44 ships and you've got one destroyer out there, it's difficult to protect all of them. And specifically when it's very close to the Israeli shoreline, where they could literally get there with the rubber dinghy, with the rubber fast boats that they were managing to get them there. So the naval escort was there to make sure that there wasn't any violence. There was boarding, but there wasn't any shooting. No one opened a firearm on the flotilla.
Yeah. Is the Trump peace deal gaining momentum?
Sorry?
Is the Trump peace deal gaining momentum?
Yes, surprisingly so. If you look at the peace deal that was presented, I thought that many academics who've studied this have thought for years that Hamas would never accept it, and it has accepted it in part. One of the things that all parties are agreed to, all hostages are going to be released, and the bodies of the remains of the hostages in Gaza are going to be released. On the Israeli side, they are also going to be releasing all Palestinian or Gazan prisoners that they have in their custody, and the remains of the Gazan prisoners. So that's the good news, at least. There's been what you call a toenadering.
Yeah.
But there are parts of the peace deal that I think Hamas is going to find hard to stomach. They have to demilitarize completely and commit to peace. So they've taken things in part, and all the onus seems to be on Hamas's side, and that's what I think they've been there's a lot of phone calls that have gone through the Arab and the Muslim countries to try and to get some kind of peace deal. So there is some kind of progress on that quarter.
Yeah, and is the Israeli government accepted it unconditionally?
They say yes, but then they do something else. So they said yes, they've accepted it, but they are not. Netanyahu said he's not moving any of the IDF forces from Gaza at the moment, and that's part of the peace deal. They have to move it, but they have to move it in stages, and they have to begin to be replaced by that's the international stabilization force made up of Arab and Muslim countries. That's still to be put together. Then there's supposed to be a board of peace chaired by Donald J. Trump, and having Tony Blair as part of that. There's no construction of it. No, we don't know what it looks like. Yeah. And it seems like the Palestinians, I think they're at the end of their tether on this one. So they're going to have to almost accept these kind of terms and circumstances. So it reads more like some of the international commentators have pointed it out. It reads more like less than a peace deal and more than a surrender, terms of surrender.
Yeah.
And if you look at if Hamas accepting it, that's an interpretation that could be garnered from this.
Yeah, yeah. Let's talk about what's happening in North Africa, Morocco. Is the Arab Spring back?
Arab Spring 2.0, this time the Gen Z version.
Yeah.
So there are protests.
Well, we had Twitter during the millennial version. They have TikTok during the Gen Z version.
It's not just Morocco. It's happened in Madagascar. The government was toppled in Madagascar. Government was toppled in Nepal. We've seen it happen in Bangladesh as well, where you have these Gen Z protests that take on as a fire. They're inspired by this skull and crossbones manga image in a straw hat. And it's ideologically thin, but they do manage to topple governments. And what they do is they target the homes of sitting presidents. And they go there and they protest there, or politicians. And that's the fire that they've managed to unleash. Strangely enough, when they do take power, you're thinking that the Gen Z, average age is 19, they're going to do something different. They put an old person in charge. So Yunus Mohammed is part of the intern government he's leading the intern government in Bangladesh, and the same thing with they've got a 74-year-old judge in Nepal. So this is something that we have to keep an eye on.
Over Discord is where they have these elections taking place.
Yes.
Yeah. Lance Claasen, thank you so much for that. Really appreciate it.